Welcome back to Ryan's Studio, and in today's video, I'll be reviewing the new Disney movie. Having watched the movie, I have a few thoughts about the movie. First of all, I know I'm 18 years old. I know Mufasa, the Lion King. This is not a movie that was engineered, produced, directed, or aimed at me. This was aimed at your regular mother that has kids. We have Mufasa here, Lion King. Considering that, I will say the movie looks good. It is stunning. So it is an animated movie. It can be basically put as an animated movie. It looks very good, very nice hyper realism. It doesn't reach that uncanny valley level in terms of almost looking like it, but not look like it enough for it to be not for it to be not unsettling. And then the score, it takes a little bit of the original Lion King score and plays both at the beginning and the end, and as special parts during the movie. I also like that as a movie, they've decided in this classic children's story to tell a prequel that was based and sent for younger audiences. So in this prequel, there will be a few spoilers. This prequel is basically told the story of Mufasa, how he was orphaned to meet Taka, which we end up finding out to be Scar. It's pretty obvious then. Meet Scar and how he made it to Milele or Pride Rock. Now, what I like too is how the story was told. It wasn't just started as Mufasa being young, it was interpreted in the form of Rafiki telling Kiara, retelling the story of her grandfather Mufasa. Simba and Nala are hardly featured in the movie, they're only shown in the first act and in the last act of the movie. They have about 3 minutes of screen time total. From his rise up to the point of Pride Rock and a little bit nothing beyond that point. Also, the introduction of Timon and Pumbaa, they had nothing in the main story. It kind of reminds me of Lion King 3, the one where they're in the movie theaters and you still see Timon, Pumbaa, and Simba as they were look like through kind of a movie lens. So they were there for the comedic effect. If I could think harder to what I like about the movie, yes, the voice acting was calm, was alright. It felt like an acted movie for the most part in terms of the antagonist and Simba. So that now dives into another part I liked. Not just you at the back of your mind wondering how do Scar and Simba end up becoming enemies, but also brings a whole new world to the Lion King verse. That they are outsiders, they are white lions, banished, they've banded themselves together and they go from pride to pride, wiping out prides to become the only lions left. And that brings us to why Simba and Scar are on a journey. And I'll say that's it for what I liked about the Lion King, about Mufasa the Lion King. Now, to what I had an issue with, or what I mainly did not like about the movie. As I said earlier, this was a children's movie. And in it being a children's movie, they couldn't stay on a scene. Scene to scene, every three seconds, the camera is cutting. Boom, boom, boom. You can't stay on one single frame and just listen to dialogue without you changing to another character, trying to use tactics to maintain retention. But you're there, you've paid money to stay in the cinema for a reason. Your attention, you've paid to have something to pay attention to. Shout out to Aaron Pierre for Simba too. So, as I was saying, the movie felt rushed. The runtime is 1 hour 58 minutes. That is also including the credits. So you have about an hour 45 or an hour 50 for an actual story you're watching. Each little scene or change didn't last up to 3 minutes. Apart from the music inside it, each conversation was always moving from here to there, nothing always sticking, landing. The dialogue between them was it was a bit too rehearsed. Their chatting with each other wasn't so natural. In the beginning, as Simba is being almost drowning in water as Taka is saving him, as he's reaching his mother, to also meeting Ubasi, there wasn't all the conversations, three sentences. For an orphan, you don't want that he ends up staying through the terms you've given. There should be a little bit of pushback. And also for during the training part, as he's saving his mother and Taka not being able to be there, the conversation back, you have to argue these things out. This is the kind of story that if it was people, an actual live action, where it is people interacting, the ratings this movie has will be way lower given that kind of interaction, given those kinds of sentences you have to use and converse with another character. Also, given the part of scenes, doesn't feel like they were so fleshed out. And Preston Neiman, is he a comedian? The actor of Zazu, jokes weren't hitting for me. If you removed 70% of his lines, it'd still be the same story. But he wasn't a main hindrance to the story, even when Scar turned evil. It was too quick. Mufasa wasn't exactly a bad guy. Him and Kiros were basically the only fully developed, in my own opinion, were the only fully developed characters in this story, in this movie. Beyonce, Nala, 4 lines total she had in the whole movie, but it's not our story. Apart from that, Taka, there's a second, you already feeling you feel like you're third wheeling with him. I think for that part, I'll give them that part. You feel like you're third wheeling with him. You feel that kind of second-hand embarrassing. But for that little inconveniencing, previous scenes doesn't give him to be spoiled. So for those little instances over a female lion that you had issues communicating with, and through your upbringing were not able to show yourself as a proper apex alpha to even hold conversations with her. I mean, you can't blame Mufasa. Basically, we can all tie it down to your father not wanting Mufasa to stay with the males. He ended up staying with the females. Ended up being a true hunter. Male in women-dominated fields. That's how I can put it there. Scar turning evil was too quick. Him leading up with Kiros. I really like the White Tigers. The 2 female White Tigers that had voices, especially the one with the thick African accent. That aside, the songs. It's a Disney movie. We know we're getting songs. But back in the day, it feels as if they put more effort into the kind of music. That music, the songs, the little musical pieces we had in old Disney movies, you could sing them time and time again. They are songs you can digest and always remember them. All these songs here, they felt very fake. They felt very just for the moment. I did not like any of the songs there. Maybe in a kid's ear, it will land better for them. But the brother song, no, I couldn't stand it. Couldn't stand the brother song. The Bye Bye, the one they made Mads Mikkelsen sing. I didn't like it. And these are the only 2 songs I remember. I know there are about 4, 5, or 6 songs. They should have put Beyonce back in the songwriting. They should have brought Pharrell Williams back in the studio. I don't think they did it this time. I'm not even going to. I won't check right now whether they brought Pharrell back in the studio. The accents, of course, voice acting. If you can show your emotion through a character that isn't bearing your face, you're a voice actor. So this is not in terms of bad voice acting or good voice acting, but for character choices. Giving Taka a very, very British voice actor, and this is the kind of British accent that you will find annoying, especially for the kid. the child Scar. Very annoying British accent. As he got older, it was bearable. But for himself, Aaron Pierre, he himself is British, but I believe sounded as if he put on an American accent. But Taka's own actor, maybe wanting to just sound like himself, flat. He put his heart into it, but I couldn't just bear his accent. Another shout out to Kiara. Outside of, and her actress was Blue Carter. Outside of this, I've never heard her voice. She sounded bang on, like a voice actor. Very good job. I believe she's only 12. At the climax of the movie, you could just tell what was going to lead to what. In an original story that hasn't been told before, you could, as it's going on, you could just see the story unfold in a very obvious manner. From how the Pride Rock is formed in Melele, that was just, I can't, I just had to laugh. Some statements of, there were moments there, it wasn't a comedic movie. The jokes that were meant to be jokes, that were obviously jokes, I did not laugh at them. But some points, when things are happening so obviously in front of your eyes, you just had to laugh. The way Scar got his scarred eye, it was too obvious. It was so obvious how at that point he was going to get his scarred eye. The way Kyros's actual demise, considering the rock and everything, the scenes, they're always changing the camera angle, you really see what was going to happen. If I was Simba, considering all things, Scar will not remain there at all. Even the way Scar ended the growl after he was like, I'll not call you. After seeing Mufasa was like, I'll not call you by Taka again. Or you can call me Scar. All that. With the way he already composed himself, why not just walk off again? I think the movie ended off. We could have had more Simba. We could have actually had more Simba. This movie feels like something that feels like it could have been an episode or a 3-part episode in a Disney Junior show. First off, that's how it could have been. Just Rafiki, Kiara, Timon, Pumbaa narrating Mufasa's story on Disney Junior. Because it started Simba just talking. He now left with Kiara. He now left alone to meet Nala. Then at the end, Beyonce's one sentence, Simba, Nyala, and Nala coming to show Kiara. He also introduced Kiara's younger brother. If I'm going according to the Lion Guard from the Disney Junior show, I believe his name would be Kion. And also from this point, it's already obvious Disney is going to make a new movie directly based on Kion. This movie made for children by adults feels like it was overly made for children. You can make a children's movie that will have all audiences, all age groups wanting to watch it for it. It wasn't a bad movie per se, but the key points are it was rushed, the songs are forgettable, and the scenes, the dialogue were not fleshed out properly. There's this kind of thing you would want in a story you're telling for each exposition revealed, for it to settle, and for each conversation to last at least 3 minutes before we are looking at the horizon or we're introducing a musical number into the movie. But that aside, I've already logged it on Letterboxd. I gave it a 3.5. And in terms of ranking it over 10, I would give the movie 6.5. Of course, this is just my own opinion. If you want, you should watch it for yourself. The movie has already made 335 million, but this was Mufasa the Lion King. This is Ryan Studio. If you liked the review, if you want any movies that I should watch and review, leave it in the comments. Like, comment, and subscribe. This is Ryan Studio. Happy New Year. We're going to have a wonderful 2025, and I'll see you in the next one.